Story where the progression of character strength.
Do you think we'll get to halfway through the video this time?
Probably. Alright, let's see. The first Zoan type was Dalton, and he didn't grow that big compared to how Lucci grew when he went to his hybrid form. Is that supposed to be a testament of power? Question mark.
I think that was one of the 6 power abilities.
His life arts?
No, it's one of the abilities isn't like getting bigger.
I don't. There isn't any that
I mean,
allows. Don't.
is the
It's just.
explanation not just he is bigger? What's the problem here?
I'm just saying. The first time we seen a Zoan, he didn't grow that much bigger compared to Lucci's height to his.
Well, they're different animals.
Oh yeah, because a cat and a bison. Was it a bison?
I,
Whatever.
I mean, sure, but
Plus,
the point
leopards are supposed
is,
to be sleek because they're fast. And then we got his life art form where he skinnies down, looking more like his, you know, uh, looking like him, but as a cat. So I just find this an interesting detail, and we don't even get to see a lot of zones. Well,
plus age is a
zones like
factor.
this.
Plus
Actually,
age
I
is a
think we only
factor
seen
because
more
Momonosuke
ancients.
was small when he
Oh,
when he was a dragon, but Kaido's huge, and he got huge when he was older too. So age is also a factor.
I'm pretty sure Dalton is older than Lucci. But what I was about to say, we seen more uh, ancients and mythicals than we see base zones. Because we got Kaku, Lucci, Jabra, Chopper, Dalton, and oh, Boa Sandersonia, Marigolds. I already lost count.
I mean, it's a non-issue.
I just find. Oh, and Jack. That's all I got in my brain.
Isn't Jack an ancient zone?
Shit, mammoths are ancients. Did Rex come back? No. Let's see. There's someone else. I don't know. Maybe some of those unnamed vice admirals that has like Down Nation. That's got to be a devil for. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Well, whatever. That's just a
I remembered one.
thought.
The dog fruit. That was the cannonate in Alabasta.
All right, yeah. Pell and Chaka. I
No, no, no,
didn't say those two.
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, and also random sword that has the elephant fruit.
Blue and I'm not. Funk Freed.
Yep.
And Lasso from also at Alabasta. Oh shit. No, Alabasta has the most Zoan types shown in one arc. Whoopsie. We got Lasso, Miss Merry Christmas, Pell and Chaka. That makes 4 compared to Impel Down's 3. I'm not Impel Down. Uh, Marine, not Marine Ford either. Water 7. Any's Lobby's 3 to Alabasta's 4. Ugh. Well, Rex isn't showed back yet. Alright, I'm gonna continue.
Is paramount in telling the journey. The time skip was set in place in order to prepare Luffy and the crew for the New World because they weren't strong enough. We are talking about like the foundation for change, right? And yet Oda thinks that because there are so many characters in the story, he can't give it his all in fights because otherwise he wouldn't be able to finish. This is all the result of Oda's world being too big and him trying to compensate. And this is also taking into consideration the fact that Oda is aging and he's not getting any healthier. That's part of the issue as well. Oda's current philosophy is actively working against his own health. We know that Oda has been hospitalized before for overworking, but how many of you know that his eyesight is declining? And it's harder for him to focus on little details like drawing Panda Man consistently. Oda's doctors have told him that if he doesn't move and stay healthy regularly, he'll die. And a lot of this is the result of what the lifestyle of a mangaka entails. A lifestyle that has people spending most of their day hunched over a table staring at a piece of paper. That's not really helping Oda's health, is it? Oda's insistence on quantity over quality is not what's best for his health. And that isn't to say that Oda hasn't drawn things well, or that it's necessarily bad all the time. The issue I'm bringing up here is the philosophy and the results that are clearly driving Oda's hand. His ideology is flawed, and it makes it all the more clear how One Piece has changed. If One Piece was exactly the same in every category except art, then what I'm saying here wouldn't matter. It'd simply just be a change in art style that people find subjective. But the fact that I can point to Oda himself making arguments as to why he's drawing things differently paints this in an entirely new light that isn't just, oh yeah dude, Oda just mixing things up bruh. This goes beyond that. I saved the most concerning yet interesting quote for last. Do you have the feeling that the anime is your rival? Yes, I do, but it is also a strong ally in many situations. Compared to the original manga, the anime sheds light on points that had not been sufficiently addressed to show things in a clearer way. On the one hand, I tell myself that this is a good thing, but on the other hand, it also hurts my heart. But in the end, the anime that manages to do what I have failed to do is a great motivation to improve myself. Wow. Oda readily admits through this answer that the manga has not addressed things in a proper manner so as to depict what the story is trying to tell its readers. Meaning that Oda isn't even writing to his own standards. He is aware that the anime is trying to pick up on things that he's failed. Animes are naturally supposed to help the source material, but this goes
I kind of need a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
It could just
Oda
be
didn't
Oda
say.
being humble, really.
Oda didn't say, "Oh, there are things that just aren't in One Piece in the manga that are in the anime." He just said just details that aren't in the manga, like how do Usopp get his goggles in Log Town? Well,
Yeah,
in the anime, he shows them.
and Daddy the father was supposed to be in the manga, but he was, cut for time, as you do. So if you're counting details like that, yeah, it's a shame, but it didn't do much.
Yeah,
If you're just counting those types, it's not that big of an issue. I guess he's done for the day by meme spice. Does he feel like he's saying One Piece is killing Oda? Pretty much. I mean, it pretty much
Uh,
is.
it, well, what I think he's saying is, oh, what Oda's been doing One Piece for so long, or Oda's like dying or whatever, so One Piece isn't as good because stuff like the art and the details aren't there. When the art is subjective and the details aren't exactly necessary.
But yeah, let's say Oda's killing himself over One Piece rather than One Piece is killing Oda. Because at this rate, I don't think that man's gonna survive without a few more vacation breaks. 47 minutes, 39 seconds.
beyond simply helping. It's trying to lift part of a load. This level of self-awareness from Oda is also troubling, because Oda seems to paint these things in a light where it is, and at the same time, isn't out of his hand to control, which makes me feel as though that the things I've been pointing to are all a part of a convoluted mess of issues that Oda himself can't seem to get to the bottom of. And I can't say for certain what exactly the source of this is, because I don't think there is simply one thing. Obviously, something has changed between the pre-time skip and the post. But a factor that I don't think is talked about a whole lot in how Oda seems to be pushing things along is his age, and how that plays a factor in his own mind. Because he knows that he has to finish One Piece before it's too late. Mortality is imminent. Oda has expressed probably a dozen times at this point between interviews and commentary about his desire to finish One Piece soon. Every year for the past several years, Oda releases a statement reaffirming the fact that the end is near. In 2019, Oda stated that he wanted to end One Piece in 5 years. In that same year, Oda's editor, Naito, said that he was skeptical of Oda ending One Piece, but they believed that if Oda said so, he could do it. In 2020, Oda said that One Piece had 4 to 5 years left. And then again in that same year, Oda reaffirmed that the series was going to end soon. And in 2021, as I was editing the script, one of Oda's newest editors, Iwasaki, came out and commented on this progress. And this is probably more than likely associated with Oda saying that the story was heading into its final stages during his comments on the 100th volume of One Piece. Iwasaki's comment was that they are approaching the end of the story faster than they had anticipated. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that One Piece is going to end for sure in 4 years or less. Everyone tends to be a bit off in their initial estimates, and as an author, it's more than likely the case that you can't predict when you're going to run into creative streaks, which end up lengthening your series. The strict timeline of 4 to 5 isn't the biggest takeaway from what Oda is trying to communicate. The biggest takeaway is his intent. What is Oda trying to do? What does he want? He wants to finish the story as fast as humanly possible. And if you are a current reader of Wano during the progress of Onigashima right now, and you are looking at the leaps in power that are being made, this makes way too much sense.
I don't know about leaps.
Oda once said that he wanted to finish One Piece before he turned 50, so that he could spend time and travel around the world in his relative youth before it was too late to do so. Oda's birthday is January 1st, and he'll be turning 47 in a couple months. If you go back and rewind time to 2019, when he first started talking about One Piece and how it was going to end in 5 years, he was 44. Now, it could be a coincidence that Oda started really hammering in the fact that he was ending One Piece on a timeline that has a direct correlation to him reaching 50 years old, but I don't think it is a coincidence. I think it's intentional. And I can't really blame him. Oda isn't a young buck anymore. To get to the level of success that Oda has reached in his life, you naturally have to make sacrifices. One of those sacrifices is family. Oda has not been able to see his family nearly as much as he would want to. Things have gotten to the point where Oda basically has to make special days just to see his daughters. They are not a regular and normal part of his life. I'm sure Oda would love nothing more than to spend his days basking in the sunshine on some, tropical island with his family, enjoying his fortune. It's a good motivation to have, but everything comes at a cost. And that cost is the world that Oda has put his blood, sweat, and tears into. I don't think Oda is intentionally sabotaging One Piece, because if that was the case, then we'd have something truly disturbing to talk about. But whatever it is that Oda wants, I don't think there's a good structure set in place around him to reach his desires. Geniuses are often blinded to their own flaws. They can be so wrapped up in their worlds that they often overlook the little things. And if there was anyone that could be classified as a genius, it's Oda. I think he's fucking brilliant. I think there are elements to being an author that you either have or you don't. Oda's creativity and sheer joy that he has for his craft isn't something you can learn. It's a gift. It's a mindset. And he's one of the most gifted people out there. But if you are living in a vacuum, getting feedback can be difficult. And I would say, given everything that I've been able to gather from the sparse information available, that there is something seriously wrong with the support system that Oda has around him, which means that I think there is some blame to be put on his editors and staff. It is an editor's job to point things out to authors that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to see. They serve as that outside perspective and backbone that helps keep the author's head above water.